The Daleks are, at their core, a representation of absolute inhumanity. They are the antithesis to the positive aspects of us humans, and everything about them from their personalities to their design illustrates their alien nature. This philosophy was integral to the process of creating the original Dalek design, as stated by their designer, Raymond Cusick, who considered it important that each aspect of the Dalek design should be utterly inhuman. The Daleks are encased in a metal shell. They see the world through a singular electronic eye. They glide along on a singular base. They manipulate objects around them with an unwieldy rubber-like plunger, and they talk in screeching electronic staccato. Each and every element of the Dalek design stands in contrast to humans. Indeed, Cusick indicated that a Dalek should look like nothing of this earth. It should be a creature whose origins are beyond the reaches of humanity, a true alien. This idea was carried through all the Dalek designs of Classic Who, and it is a key pillar in the Daleks' iconic, memorable design. It is what makes them unnerving and intimidating. When the Daleks were brought back to our screens in Series 1 of Doctor Who's revival, the design was overhauled to make the Daleks appear bulkier, metallic, and battle-ready. In-universe, this change to the Dalek design is explained by a radical new addition to Doctor Who's lore in the early eras of New Who: the Time War, a universe-shattering conflict between the Daleks and the Time Lords that ultimately led to the near-total annihilation of both empires. During this conflict, it can be assumed that the Daleks adapted their standard design for total warfare, and we see this reflected in the many upgrades and additional abilities that the Daleks are shown to possess in their first few stories of New Who. The ability to feed on time energy, their powerful shields, and their enhanced locomotion systems. But there is one aspect of the updated Dalek design that has caused some debate among fans: the inclusion of rivets. Now, at first glance, this change appears minor, almost inconsequential. Unlike previous Dalek designs, which had a smoother, more refined look and attempted as much as possible to minimise the real-world construction methods used for the props, the new Dalek design instead embraced these methods, proudly displaying large rivets on the midsection slats and also featuring smaller rivet-like attachments on the dome, neck and base. And in a way, it makes sense that Daleks might use design elements like this during the Time War era. Raymond Cusick is said to have had a quibble with the bronze Dalek design in that, in his opinion, the Dalek casing should not betray any signs of contemporary methods of fabrication, as due to their status as utterly inhuman aliens with highly advanced technology, they should look like nothing on Earth, and would have surely long since developed past the comparatively primitive construction method of bolting pieces of metal together with rivets. However, a logical counter to this is that, for the bronze Dalek design specifically, the casing is designed to be the mass-produced travel machine of frontline soldiers in a vast, incomprehensible temporal war on numerous fronts. To put it simply, the Daleks might have resorted to more primitive methods of construction in order to speed up the process of manufacturing new drones for the war, foregoing a refined design in favour of efficiency. When the Daleks were redesigned for Stephen Moffat's era of Doctor Who, many of Raymond Cusick's ideas and design philosophies were implemented into the design, including some later ideas that he had come up with in the late 80s and early 90s, but chief among these was the original core intent of the Daleks as representing something that is not of Earth, not anything even remotely human. But, as we all know, the updated new Dalek paradigm design was soundly rejected by the fanbase, and before long the bronze Dalek design had inexplicably returned. This is, in my opinion, where the real issue surrounding Dalek rivets comes to a head. Despite contradicting a key intent of the Dalek's original designer, rivets on Daleks could make sense in the Time War, but in the post-war era, this potential explanation no longer applies. It really does seem like the Daleks backtracked and settled for a more primitive design with no real explanation. As it stands, the issue is not in the rivets themselves. They are a symptom of a broader problem, that being the fact that the bronze Dalek design, while iconic, has been the standard Dalek design for so long now that it has started to become stale. The Daleks have become stagnant in more ways than one, and the prolonged use of the bronze Dalek design is, unfortunately, a prominent illustration of that. Fan-made designs have proven that the core elements of the bronze Dalek design can be carried forward while still updating the design. Some argue that the paradigm Daleks were too radical a shift, and that perhaps a middle ground between the two designs is needed. The bronze Dalek props are sturdy and reliable. It makes sense that the producers and prop operators would not want to replace them. But in theory, the construction of the bronze Dalek props is such that, with just a few modifications and replacement parts, the Dalek design can be updated to bring them in line with Raymond Cusick's original vision, without having to completely replace the entire prop lineup. While I personally advocate for the stance that, in the post-Time War era, the Dalek design should be refined to reduce the prominent signs of contemporary Earth-esque methods of construction, a little rivet here or there wouldn't hurt, surely? Whether it's intended to be an in-universe aspect of their design or not, it is worth noting that several classic Dalek designs did have small noticeable rivets on the midsection slats, likely due to the fact that this aspect of the Dalek design was added to Cusick's version later on. Though it is somewhat baffling that the show itself has never shown this aspect of the Dalek design exploited. The Doctor has a sonic screwdriver, a device whose initial function was to turn screws, and yet no writer thus far has put two and two together. Perhaps that's as good a reason as any for the Daleks to move away from rivets. It's an exploitable weakness in their construction. Unless of course it is revealed that these things we see as rivets are not actually rivets at all. Maybe they're tiny covers for hidden weapons, or an aspect of the Daleks' force field or sensor systems. What do you think? Do you think Daleks should have rivets? What's your take on Raymond Cusick's philosophy for the original Dalek design? Do you think there's more to the rivets than meets the eye? And they aren't actually rivets at all? If you were creating the new Dalek design, what aspects of current and past designs would you incorporate and which would you leave out? Let me know in the comments below.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to
Dalek Bumps.